Okay, now we are in the chapter 10 of this course, Agriculture Business Planning. So the topic today is opportunities and challenges of running agricultural business. Okay, so I hope that this chapter will encourage everyone to start business in agriculture field. Okay, it can be to cultivate crops, or it can be to run a business to sell the fertilizer, pesticide, or also uh, processing company, just like to create the agriculture crops to be another products, right? Okay, so in this time, we are going to uh, find such kind of business ideas related to agriculture. So we have to explore about the potential business related to agriculture. And that business can be run in a small size or large land size. So in this first topic, we are going to learn 7 points, right? We have to know at first that the agriculture business some has tendency and how they uh, adoption for technology and what they are dependent to and what is their impact. And also we will discuss some informations about the activities in the agriculture business. And then as you see here, it has farm and also it. Okay, so what what do we want to explore in this farm and what happened in this it related to the business of agriculture, we will study today. So the agriculture business relies on weather. Okay, so especially in developing country that as a simple or a traditional agriculture land, traditional agriculture field used to be relying on weather. So, for example, if there is a dry season, the farmer, of course, will not plant the crops that is well grown in a rainy season. That is the example. Or if it's like in dry in rainy season, maybe the farmer will choose to will choose to do another activity because or in some areas also even even though it is rainy season, they keep doing the farming activity in the land. So uh, they are used to work when the rain pouring down, something like that. Okay, so that is the tendency of agricultural business. So heavily rely on the weather. But compared to the agriculture business in the developed country, maybe they can manipulate the weather by applying the technology. For example, they use like greenhouse, and also they can manipulate the temperature as well, the weather, and also the sunlight, the sunlight, right? Okay, so that is the first one. If you run agriculture business in with a traditional way, so you have to think that this kind of activity relies heavily on the weather. So you have to make sure what kind of crops you are going to plant in the in that kind of season. Okay. Then about technology adoption. It uses an incredible array of technology. So of course, it happens in developed country because they will apply the technology, start from cultivation to processing. Compared with the traditional agriculture in developing country, most of them use the humankind to do the activity, start from the land clearing and cultivation, and to harvest and to transport, to distribute. Most of them use their own their own energy, right? So here it is an incredible array of technology, of course, happen in well-developed country. Okay, so that is why they can manipulate the weather, they can manipulate the temperature, they can manipulate the sunlight. Okay, so next one is about the dependency. Okay, so it is actually tied in every way to our natural resources. So if you do farming, it means you tie with natural resources such as the land, the soil, the crops, the husbandry, and also another natural resources. Okay, so it is impossible if you do farming, but you don't put the natural resources in your activity, right? So it is tied in every way to the natural resources. It means like it's not only in the land, but off farm and on farm, always tied to natural resources. If your business is about to process the agriculture crops, like to make a snack from potato, for example, so you have to tie with potato, right? And if you want to have like beverage from grape, like let's say wine, so it means like that you have to 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 make sure the availability of the grape to support your business. That is a kind of things. And if your business is about to provide the production input such as fertilizer and pesticide or agricultural technologies. So it means you have to depend to the farmer who cultivate the plants, and the plants is natural. The plants are natural resources. Okay. And what is the impact of agriculture business? Because its impact is it embraces the world, because thing that we put on your body to get more energy, protein, fiber, we rely to agriculture crops. Okay, so agriculture crops, the journey from the farm to the end consumer, it adopts business model. So that is why agriculture business embrace the world, right? And then for the point of farm, if you farm, you are involved in it as a producer of the new raw materials that ultimately make their way to the end consumer. That is why I mentioned before that the agriculture embrace the world, because all the activity from the farm to the end consumer involve the process, which is the process will have like transaction, like you have to pay the transportation service, distribution service, harvesting service, the salary, the payment for your labor to harvest, to cultivate, and also you have to provide fertilizer. You have to pay cost for that, for the fertilizer, for the pesticide. Okay, so in that step by step, there is a business transaction. And then when you eat, if you eat, you are involved in it as a consumer of its final products. So you are called as an end consumer, because that crops and at your body. Okay, so you are you are the final destination of that products. And let's see many kinds of activities in agriculture business. Growing. So actually, this is not really the beginning of the agriculture business activity. So some of people start growing if they have the land. Okay, and some of the land need to be cleared at first. So maybe clearance is the first activity, and then it comes to growing. After the land is cleared and also the soil is good enough to be planted, so it's time to grow the crops that are going to be your business commodity. So you have to grow, and in this growing part, you have to recognize the period of time of your crops from planting until harvesting. So that is part of the growing. You plan and you protect, you nurse them, and then you harvest. Okay, that is the part of growing. Next, harvesting. So in this moment, in this stage, the crop is ready. So it's time to harvest them. Okay. So in this harvesting, you can think that when you harvest that product, next step is to bring it whether to the traditional market or whether just like people will come to get it, but within a lower price, or you just can send it but with a higher price, but you still being costed to your transportation fee. Yeah, this one. So after you harvest, because you don't want your product end up in the landfill, then you have to move it from your land to your to the first to the market. Okay, so actually this processing can be the third part or the fourth part, or the third step or the fourth step. Because why? Because of some farmers recently do the processing to their product before they sell it to the market. But still, there are many farmers that harvest the crops and then directly transport it and sell it to the market. But you have to know the information that when people harvest their product and they process it by themselves, for example, they make it to be ready to eat stuff, and they sell it to the market, they will get more profit than if they harvest it and directly sell it to the market. Okay, so the first step is processing. So after you harvest the product and you move them, and then those products that being moved have to be processed. Processed to be what? Can be for people food or feed for husbandry. Okay, and then distributing food. So in this distributing food, some food producer will sell it to like a retailer or to the traditional market or directly to the end customer. Next, about the agriculture business ideas. So I hope everyone can pick some inspirations from these ideas. So actually, these are not only the ideas for agriculture business. So actually a lot. Okay. For example, I have presented like agrotourism. So in that agrotourism, also we can say that is the agriculture business ideas, because they sell product and also they sell goods and service, right? So here, I took from the reference that agriculture business ideas divided into 4 categories. Okay, the first category is livestock breeding business ideas. So when we read this, when we read this one, we will notice that agriculture business is not only talk about plants, but it also will talk about livestock and fish. Okay, so the second category is agro leasing and consultancy, and the third category is agro-allied products and services related business ideas, and then crop cultivation business ideas. Maybe the first and the fourth are familiar for everyone, but so for these two categories are not really familiar, but when we see the example, you are going to be familiar with that. Okay, so let's see the business ideas for livestock breeding business. For livestock breeding. First one is cattle ranch. Okay, everyone know this. Cattle ranch is you feed the animal such as cows, ox, bulls, bullocks, heifers, donkeys, camels, cows. Okay, so this is a kind of animal that you can feed into the cattle ranch. And then, what is the business activity in this cattle ranch? The business activity is you can sell the meats, you can sell the skins, you also can sell the milks, and also sell the manure. So most of the farmers, many farmers use the manure from cattle ranch to fertilize their soil. Okay, so and some of farmers do not feed the kind of animal, so they will buy the manure from the people who feed that animal. Okay, and then you have to understand, you have to pay attention about the truth that it takes a lot of hard work and dedication to successfully manage a cattle ranch. So actually, it's not only for manage the cattle ranch, right? To every kind of job you are doing, you have to do a lot of hard work, and you have to fully dedicate it to the things you do. And especially in this time that to do cattle ranch is so hard, because you work with lives as well, right? And you have to make sure that your that the animal you feed have a good life, so they can produce a good milk, a good skin, and also their meat is good. Okay, so next, the second one is grass cutter farming in business. So it is lucrative livestock breeding. So you have to so this is one opportunity to be done. Okay, and the next one is pig farming. Okay, some of people cannot eat farming because of they have like maybe because they have health issue, or maybe because it's the norm, the religion regulation, something like that. But still, there are some people also can eat this farming. But so that is why this pig farming is still a good business to be run. Okay, so what is the profit opportunity for pig farming? So it is highly profitable and thriving livestock because there are still so many people want to eat pork. Okay, and you have to make sure that you have done your market survey and feasibility studies so as to ensure that there is a market for pigs in the community you intend building your pig pen. So because some people, because of their the regulation, maybe in their family or in their uh, area or in their religion, they cannot have contact with this pig. So you have to make sure whether the people around you will feel comfortable with the presence of your pig pen. Okay. Then fish farming. So this one, uh, it has it aims to fulfill the protein needs. Of course, both of meat and fish, they provide the protein for people. And what is the trend for fish farming? So before now, people find it's easier to rear only catfish. So uh, rearing catfish is common before and also now because there are still so many people who eat catfish. But and in recent time, fish farmers can comfortably rear tilapia, trout, and salmon fish. Like salmon fish is kind of expensive fish, but people are eager to rear it. So of course, it will it will cost much, but the profit by selling salmon fish also uh, high. So what is the initial step in doing farming fish? So actually this one is so simple, right? But of course it is not. To start a business, a fish farming is not as simple as this. In order to be ready to start the fish, you have to have the space, make sure you have the sufficient water around you, whether it is in the ponds or not in the ponds or something like that. And you also will have to have like fish feed. Okay, you have to make sure whether you will make it yourself, whether you will produce it yourself, or make sure that you have the supplier nearby to you and your fish will get good feed. And the next category is goats and sheep rearing. Okay, so it has the opportunity and challenge. I think everyone know how is the taste of goat meat and sheep meat, something like that, right? So what is the opportunity of goat and sheep rearing? There is a global market for goats and sheep, and it is a highly thriving and profitable business. Okay, so they produce meat, and for sheep, they produce feed skin as well. Okay, and the challenge, yeah, it is not easy to rearing goats and sheep. Why they say it's not easy? Of course, because they face with the light, so they have to make sure that the goat and the sheep will live a comfortable life, so they can produce a very good meat and also a very good skin. Okay, and then let's see to the next one. is shrimp farming. Okay, so shrimp is known as one of the world's healthiest foods and is eaten in all the continents of the world. So, so it seems like there is no regulation to forbid shrimp to be eaten, right? And then it is classified as marine creature, and it is easy to come by, especially in coastal area and riverside. Okay, so that is shrimp farming. It has a lot. You just can dig more about the shrimp farming. And then bees farming. Okay, so why do people have to farm the bees? Because the bees produce honey, and honey has a lot of function. It helps us to increase our health, and honey also is used to be the raw material of another industry, such as cosmetic industry or pharmaceutical industry. It is highly demanded because there is an increasing in natural sweetness. So people now prefer to use honey as a sweetener as against sugar. And then honey is also highly medicinal. Okay, so that is why the demand for honey produced by bees are so have the high potential. Okay, so it is important to know that you would have to learn how to breed bees. Okay, so because recently there are so many farmers to domesticate bees, and if it is not well organized, it means that those bees will bother the people around, not only the owner, but all people outside the room, outside the area. So that is why you have, before you decide to do like bees farming, you have to learn how the security of the farming. And then poultry farming. Okay, this poultry farming also allowed in almost in all area in this world, right? So what to breed in this poultry farming? You can breed hens, birds, cows, guinea fowls, and ducks. And I think there are so many kind of uh, uh, animal like you can breed in poultry farming, right? Yeah, this is widely consumed. And from those lists, the most consumed are chicken and birds. And then what is another revenue sources by feeding the by farming the poultry? So they can produce egg, and you know that supply of egg is also a major source of revenue generation for poultry farmer. So actually there is another one is manure. For example, the manure of hens and chicken also applied to be the fertilizer to the soil and to help the uh, uh, to help to improve the soil quality. And then snail farming. Snail meat has been severally affirmed as a most safe and nutritious delicacy. So this one may be one activity that you are going to do. So to add into your business. Okay, dog breeding. Dogs are used for hunting, for security aspects, and also for games. Okay, and rabbits farming. So the potential of this rabbit farming is highly thriving and profitable livestock breeding. So some people also eat rabbit's meat. Okay. And about the regulation, there is no law prohibiting the keeping of rabbits in the towns or in the city. So why you don't just feed them? Just do this as your business. And rabbit farming is not doesn't need a wide space. It is enough just to put them in your backyard. And yeah, as we know that backyard can help us to grow more plants. And if you want that plants can be sold and it can add our income, or we can grow the plants and we use that for our daily needs. So we don't have to buy the vegetable, we don't have to buy the tomato, the chili, but we have them in our backyard. So we also can use our backyard to feed the rabbits. Okay. And about the feed. What is the feed of the rabbit? So rabbit do not compete with humans for food. Okay. So you also can give the kitchen leftover, cut grasses, and formulated or compounded feed into your rabbit. But formulated or compounded feed, of course, will be more expensive compared with kitchen leftovers, right? Okay, so that's the business ideas from livestock breeding and business idea, livestock breeding. Okay, and the second one is agro leasing and consultancy. So you can offer the leasing, the leasing activity to provide the agricultural equipment. Okay, so you can make money from hiring out equipment like tractors, plows, sprayers, harvesters, and irrigation machines to farmers. So you let them to rent it, and you charge that equipment to you charge some amount of money that have to be paid by the farmers to you, because they rent your stuff. And then agricultural brokerage. So how does agricultural brokerage to get money and what to do? So in this brokerage, you have to link the sellers of the agricultural produce with buyers. Okay, so who is the seller? The seller is the farmer and the buyer is the end consumers. So you become the bridge between the seller and between the farmer and the buyer. Okay. And next, oh, okay. I want to go back here. So by being the bridge between farmer and seller, farmer and buyer, we get a little profit because you offer your service, right? Because you offer your service to connect them. So that is you take profit by doing that. So that is why it can be an agriculture business too. And then consultancy. It is about to offer the expert advice or organize training and seminars. But for example, you want to give like training to the farmer about how to apply a new planting technique. So, and then you offer your expertise and you create the material of your presentation, and then you are paid for that. And the next business ideas is about agro leasing and consultancy is facilitative service. Okay, so because agriculture is like another business, they will also need a credit, insurance, marketing, storage, processing, transportation, packing, and distribution. So you can facilitate the farmer with this kind of services. You can provide the credit for them, or you can create a company for insurance to protect the farmer. And also you can help them to market their product, or also because the agriculture product is bulk and perishable, right? So maybe they need a storage, let's say cold storage, before they get the buyer. So it is good to storage them at first. You can offer this kind of service. And you also can be the processor of the agriculture crops. And also you can provide the transportation service to move the agriculture crops from farmer land to, let's say, to the supermarket. And then you also provide a service for packaging. And then you help to distribute. And all of these activities are allowed to get profit for the service they give to the farmer. And then agro farming blogging. So now actually blogging and vlogging make YouTube content is a good income resource. So that can be your business ideas about agriculture. They offer the honest advice for farming related activities. They also offer some inspiration. For example, they make in the YouTube content the young farmer that who is going to be success, and then this content can encourage the youth to be a farmer. Okay, so that is kind of offering of agro farming blogging or vlogging. And then agriculture consulting, to give some advice to, or to help the farmer to analyze the possibility, and yeah, just to consult them whether they want to make more profit, or whether what kind of crops they are going to plant. So as an agriculture consulting, you need to have experience and knowledge. Okay, so this is important. You have to have experience of consult people, consult farmer, or consult another people who do agriculture business. And also, of course, you have to have your knowledge. Then landscape expert. Okay, this landscape expert is someone who will design the outdoor space. Okay, so their expertise is to design. They can design but in order to do the designing, they have to analyze the site at first and to make a list of the site inventory and to have the to make the plan of the land, just like what is the suitable landscape for the land, and also to design the planting, what kind of crops need to be planted in the east side, south side, west side, north side, something like that. And then have to be able to make the grading. And then they also have to understand the stormwater management and sustainable design and construction specification. So they are the designer in the agriculture. And also they have to be able to understand the aesthetics of their work. Okay, so in order to ensuring that all plans meet the current building codes and local and federal ordinances. So to make sure that all things that they have planned meet the current building codes. So that the staff will be highly accepted with the situation, with the area. And then soil testing lab. So this is something that so scientific, right? And what is the utility of soil testing lab? To monitor the nutrient. Okay, why people have to monitor the nutrient? Because in order to be able to get the information whether the soil is suitable for the particular crops. If it is not suitable, it means that crop it means they cost much, but the crop cannot produce cannot have the good productivity. So they will not get any profit. Okay. So when they test the soil quality and they will give the recommendation. Okay, so to make sure that the farmer will plant the suitable crops for the soil quality. And how to earn money by doing the soil test lab? You have to establish the lab focused to soil testing, and then the result of your experiment will be certified. Okay. And here, export business. So everyone know export and import. Okay. So you can do the export business. For example, you prepare the commodities by yourself, or you also can collaborate with another farmers. Your facility, you have to have phone, computer, and internet connection, because you collaborate with local people and also with abroad people. Okay. So the third category is agro-allied products and services. What is that kind of business? So not only limited to these two, okay? It has a lot of things. It has a lot of business. So palm oil mill. So advisable to set this type of business close to palm tree plantation. Okay, so palm oil mill, it can produce oil and another margarine or something like that. And they give us some advice here. If we want to have like palm oil mill, so it means that the business have to be closer to the palm tree plantation in order to reduce the cost of transportation. And the next one is fertilizer distribution business. Okay, this is the distribution. You can start with moderate capital investment. Yeah, because this business is high risk, because it talks about like chemical, and so the investment for this is quite moderate. And then crop cultivation business ideas. As I mentioned before, it is something that is so familiar with you, with everyone. So not only limited to these three ideas, it has another crop cultivation business idea, such as if you want to cultivate like flowers and also medicinal plants, it can be here. It can be included to this category. So limited to these three, I mean, my presentation limited to these three crops. Okay, so rice cultivation. Rice is a staple food that is consumed in all parts of the world, which makes it a good crop cultivate. Okay, so not only in Asia, but in another continental also can eat rice. So that is why this rice is a potential to cultivate the rice is a potential agriculture business ideas, because the demand for your product will always be existing, right? And then vegetable farming. Okay, so there is a very large market for vegetable. Okay, there is a very large market, and also there is a high risk. Okay, high risk to farm vegetable, but because it can give money in a short time, let's say for 2 or 3 months, and then you can rotate the cultivation season, and it means that you can get more money by doing the same land in 1 year. And then fruits plantation. It is quite the same with the vegetable. The demand from fruit also high. So and also in this era, people find there are so many additional product from fruit. I mean, like people make juice or a salad or another kind of additional product from fruit. So it makes the demand for fruits is high, and it goes it climbs every time, because the number of people are increasing, right? Okay, so I want to add a little bit about the crop cultivation. As in the beginning of this course, I took the example of jasmine flower. So I remember about the crop of flower. Okay, so flower farming is also one of promising business ideas, because of that flower farming is not only to offer the beauty scenery, right? It also offer as a raw material for another industry. Let's say for perfume, for medicine, and some flower also can be used to be the additional material for food. Okay, so that is why flower farming is one kind of agriculture business idea that you might be have to try. Okay, so another one is medicinal crop. Okay, so such as such as like turmeric. You can plant the turmeric because it can be used as the spices and also the raw materials for pharmacy industry. Okay, and another kind of medicinal another kind of crop is just like herbs, like rosemary, like mint, and you can choose what kind of crop that you are going to plant to be your business in agriculture, right? So, and what I present here is something that is so general. Like for vegetable farming, you can do still many kinds of business from vegetable farming. Just like you can do the activity with hydroponic one, and you can do it in like organic specialty, and then because of that you may can add another one to your business. If you grow them with hydroponic, you may can add your business activity, like to sell the hydroponic kit, and also to offer and if you grow them with if you grow them organically, you may can add your business activity, like to provide the organic fertilizer, to provide organic pesticide. So there are still a lot of business ideas in this one. And for the rice cultivation itself, you can focus to particular type of rice, or maybe brown rice, red rice, something like that. And people recently already have the preference to consume white, brown, or red rice because of their health issue, or because of another thing. They choose only to eat like brown rice or red rice, or maybe they don't eat white rice. Okay, so you still have another things to be considered when you finally decide want to cultivate particular crops. Okay, you have to be specific, or maybe you can just plant many kinds, because the more variety you have, the more customer segment you can reach, right? Okay, and then for the fruit plantation as well, there is a fruit plantation that you can you also have to be focused. Maybe that kind of fruit that stay for 6 months. I mean, like the plant itself, not the fruit. The plant can be stay for 6 months or for 3 years, like oranges tree, and also mangoes tree or something like that, or guava tree. You just can to decide which kind of fruit you are going to cultivate. Okay, so and for the flower, for flower, you can just cultivate the one that is cut flower, or also you may just cultivate the flower that is prepare the leaf or the flower, or uh, uh, all the part of the flower. So you still have like you still have to consider which part you're going to do in the group of crop cultivation. And for medicinal one, whether you want to cultivate the things for the pharmaceutical or for herbs. Herbs also for pharmaceutical, but it sometimes can be used as spices for food. And now there is another new trend about the agriculture business. It is called microgreen, right? So the microgreen is the so actually this is not quite new, but getting more people try that as a business in this moment. So that is the newest things about the agriculture business. Or maybe you can start plant-based meat. Okay, so you produce the meat, but it is plant-based. So if you like someone who is concerned about the biodiversity, you don't want to kill the animal, and to take the meat, you can create the plant-based meat in order to protect the animal. Okay, so there are a lot of business ideas, but in this in this class, in this course, the student project, most of the project is food and beverage. So I hope by learning this today, you now have another option if you are asked to run a agriculture business. Okay, so the easiest one is crop cultivation business, and also livestock breeding. Okay. Okay, and we reach the end of this presentation. This is the reference. Okay, so I took these informations for this chapter from these 3 sources. Okay, I took from this journal. I'm sorry, for 4 resources, 4 references. I took from this one is a book, and this one is a journal. This one is a book, and this one is a article found in this link. So for further reading, you can go to these 4 references. You can get more, you can explore more. Okay, so I hope this will help you to get more inspirations to do business in agriculture. Thank you so much for your attention.